Hi everyone, in this video we are going to be doing a manicure with this Orly nail polish. This one is called Infinite Allure. It's like a brownish grayish color. And with the Orly Bonder and Orly Polishield. I thought it was called Polishield. Okay, and on the nails we have Dazzle Dry nail polish. That is a week old. So there is some wear. There's no chipping, as you can see. And the other hand, as well, quite good, just a little bit of wear. Okay, so I'm going to remove the polish with pure acetone, because that's what I usually do. That's what works the best. I pause for a second with this little pad so it sticks to the polish, and then it comes off super easy. So now I put pressure. I don't move the cotton back and forth. Press down and away. If there is anything left, I just leave it for later, because I don't want to rub in any of the dissolved nail polish into the skin. Press down. All right. Super easy. Oops. Now I'm going to grab a clean piece and clean off the rest, whatever's left behind. I'm gonna grab a new one. Again, because I don't want to rub in the dissolved nail polish into the skin. I like using acetone because it makes the skin look dry. I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's true. For the manicure, for the cuticle detailing part, so I can see exactly what I'm doing. The dryness is very temporary, so it's not a big deal. After the manicure, we're going to apply oil. So we're going to shape them. They're growing out nicely. What are we doing shape-wise? Skracamy trochę? Co chcesz? Troszeczkę? Tak? Okay, we're going to shorten them a little bit. More round again. Tak? Okay, these ones were shorter, so I'm not going to shorten them too much. you can see when we did the first manicure, I'm gonna link the first video. The skin around the nail, this one was much longer. So the proximal nail fold was stretched a little bit because it was not pushed back. And now 2 weeks later, you can see how it sits very, very differently. I'm gonna actually put a picture of the first manicure here so you can guys compare. And this is the reason why I didn't cut it, because I knew that after a couple of manicures, it's going to look much, much better without any cutting. So right now it looks like there was excess of skin, but there is not. It's just that the area is dry. A little bit from the acetone, so. Okay, so I'm going to do a dry manicure like I always do. I'm gonna push back the proximal nail fold, the skin fold, and that exposes the cuticle. So the white pieces that you see is a cuticle, and the skin that I'm pushing back is a living skin. So I know a lot of people, they cut it or they use even the electric file to really remove it or abrade it. Personally, I prefer to do manicures on a regular basis, and even just ask the client to push it back once a week or once every few days, even makes a difference, and use the oil, and then you don't have to cut it. Because what happens is, even if you abrade the skin like to remove it, what happens is it just regrows, and it looks even worse in the long run. So I'm going to use medium small barrel on a very, very low speed, just to kind of exfoliate the skin a little bit. If the skin is dry, client has to use oils and hand creams, and just use gentle soaps, because like I always say, we cannot correct dry skin by filing it. It usually takes, I would say, 2 manicures to see a big difference in how the skin kind of sits around the nail on a regular basis. That's why when people come in, I find every 3 weeks, the difference is not as noticeable, but every 2 weeks is kind of the perfect time in between manicures, or every week if they want to. But definitely pushing back that skin just very, very gently once every couple of days, it makes a huge difference. And using oils to keep that area nice and flexible. So I'm just beveling the free edge a little bit. When you file the nails, sometimes there's like a piece of nail that's stuck underneath, so that's what I'm removing as well. And as you can see, there was not a lot of dust created here. There was some, but there's not a lot, because there shouldn't be a lot of dust. When you see a lot of dust, then usually it's the nail being filed, not the cuticle, because there's not usually a lot of cuticle on the nail. prep solution. I'm not gonna buff the nails this time because I already buffed them like twice, and when you use electric file around to remove the cuticle, it makes that area quite smooth. If you're using cuticle remover and you're pushing back the cuticle without the EFILE, then sometimes doing a very little buff around that area is a good idea, just to smooth everything out so there was no catches. I'm giving the nails a really good scrub, the free edge as well. If you don't have a special prep solution, then you can use 99 or 96% alcohol. Sometimes adding pure acetone is also a good idea to the mix. Okay, now I'm going to use the Orly Bonder. I'm going to use a thin coat. With the pressure. The consistency of this polish is quite thin, so I just dip the very tip of the brush into the bottle just so I don't have to keep wiping it off. And I'm putting, I would say, quite a lot of, well, some pressure on the brush to apply it thin, because we want it to dry very well. Okay, so the reason why I chose this polish today is because one of our viewers, I'm just checking if the base coat is dry. One of our viewers, Laurent, he had a bubbling issue with this nail polish. So I wanted to see if we can kind of figure out why this is happening. Okay, so the brush on this one is a little smaller, which is actually a good thing. So as you can see, I want the first coat to be almost a little sheer. So I'm taking a small bead of product like this. This way you can control where the product is going. It's not dripping anywhere. There's nothing to clean. I actually prefer this brush. I think Orly changed their brushes initially to the wide ones, like there was like the base coat has, and I think they changed to these ones maybe, which is a good thing. The wide one is a little bit too wide. So you see the bristles are spreading a little bit. He was saying that the bubbles appear in the nail polish, not in the top coat. So we'll see. Because in the top coat, I would say it's a little bit more common. for the bubbles to appear. Again, when I pick up the polish, I'll show you in a second, I don't dip the brush all the way in because that picks up too much product. So just the end has product. If I end up grabbing too much, then I just wipe it off, and I'll show you that in a second. So I dip the brush in. If I see that I'm picking up too much, I wipe half here and again here. That way you have a small amount. Now for the thumb, I'm going to pick up and dip the brush all the way in and wipe on one side only. This way I have more. I don't have to go back and re-dip the brush. I think I picked up a little bit too much this time. When that happens, just wipe it off and go back. Okay. This is tacky, but it's looking already pretty dry. We're gonna give it 2 minutes now, just to see, because I polish pretty fast, so we'll see if this is drier in 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, now this is pretty dry. It's not tacky anymore. On this hand. Again, I clean off the stem of the brush, wipe, pick up a smaller amount of product. And this is covering quite well, so I'm not gonna put too much product. Too much, so I'm going to clean it off. If there's too much product, the surface will be looking a little bit more streaky or like wavy, so you can't be too applying these products too thick, these type of polishes. Okay. I have to say the consistency of this polish is really good. Really nice, easy to apply. No issues. There's not much to clean up, but there's a couple areas. So I'm gonna dip the brush in acetone. This one is fine. This one is fine. I'm gonna now let them dry again for 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna put a top coat on. Okay, so 2 minutes really gave them a nice surface, nice dry surface now. Perfect. So now this brush is a little weird because the stem is so long, so I guess it's okay when you're painting your own nails, but or polishing your own nails. A little weird. It has a small brush. I have to say it's a pretty quick drying polish. Also, we've applied thin coats, so that helps the drying process, but so the top coat is applied a little bit thicker, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these ones aside and do these 4 and then thumbs separately, just so they don't drip to the side. When the brush is this long, it's kind of hard to control it, I have to say. Maybe I'm just not used to it. Okay, let's do the thumb now. So as we can see, no bubbles, right? So I think the key is to apply this polish thinner, and then it dries well. Okay, we're gonna now wait 5 minutes and we'll be back. 5 minutes and this is dry, pretty dry. That's impressive, I have to say. Very impressive. Okay, so now we're gonna use a nice oil, so rich. It smells really good. And now all that dry skin is gone. cream. Okay, so initially when the oil is applied, the nails look a little bit more dull, but in a few minutes they're gonna be back to shiny. So no worries about that. Okay, so this is the final look. Very nice color. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.